안녕하세요 여러분, 오랜만입니다. 11월 5일 미국 대선에 대해 미국 사람들은 어떻게 생각하고 있을까요? 달라스의 한 공원에서 오늘 인터뷰 해보겠습니다.
November 5th elections are coming up, and I just wanted your thoughts on, who you're supporting in this election.
Well, I'm conservative and Republican, but I can't support that candidate because he's just a despicable human being and not fit to represent the United States of America on the global stage.
So what in sense of do you think is that you kind of disdain, you don't really have good feelings for in terms of Trump or
His morals, his business acumen, his decision making, basically everything about him. He's a disgusting human being.
So are you voting for the opposite party or?
Probably,
Okay, so Kamala.
probably,
Okay.
reluctantly.
Reluctantly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that both major parties have done a terrible job delivering us qualified candidates. Both of them are not really qualified, but she's the lesser evil.
Okay. So it comes down to, who is the lesser evil?
Not a proper trait for a president.
Okay. I see. It's interesting because you said that you're Republican, and I guess the Republican policies differ quite dramatically compared to these days the Democrats. What do you think about? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, there's a lot of Republican policies I don't agree with. I like their fiscal policies, but their social policies, I'm in the current form of the Republican Party, I don't agree with a lot of that. I think pro-choice is appropriate. With regard to women's rights in that regard, I don't think the government belongs in the process.
Okay. So protecting reproductive rights for women and the women's rights. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I have two daughters,
Okay.
and
Okay. Two daughters.
and I think it's their choice, and it's not the government's business.
November 5th election is coming up. Which candidate are you supporting for this election?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, may I know your reasons why you want to support Donald Trump?
Strong economy, no wars, closed borders, fair elections, and yeah, those are just some of the things.
From the things that you've listed so far, right? Economy, border, right? Which one do you think is the most pressing issue of the United States, and that you want, Trump to solve?
The economy and the border. Yeah, things are really expensive. Going to the grocery store now is very expensive. Things have doubled for me, and I've had to really cut back.
And what are your thoughts in terms of the border situation right now?
It's wide open right now. We're giving a lot of money to illegal immigrants, so we're not giving money to our veterans here in our country, or we're not taking care of our own citizens. So just something I don't agree with.
Kamala Harris. Well, I like her ideas. I find her very articulate. I like the base of her commitment, her past commitment as a DA, and I find that she has an interesting cultural input, and I think that she would make a great president, and it's about time to have a woman for president.
And your thoughts?
I feel very similar. I have a less clinical approach. Mine's more gut. I feel like it's time for us to have a little more compassion around for people in the White House, and I think she delivers it more than the other candidate. So I'm voting for Kamala.
What do you think is the most pressing issue of our nation?
I think it's a combination of everything. It's not
For me, I feel it's human rights. It's all of these things. There's no one silver bullet, but without human rights, you can't have a great economy. You can't have anything else. So I think that sustaining our American heritage of rights is something that must be protected. And as a first generation immigrant here in America, my parents came from Korea and I was born here. I feel it's really important that we sustain what makes America great. And what makes America great is our right to choose.
Oh, you're from Korea.
Well,
Oh, your parents, but it's your heritage. Okay, great. Okay, and my heritage too.
Harris.
Harris. Okay, and
Harris too.
Harris.
Yes.
What is there a particular reason you're supporting Harris for this election?
Because she supports women, and I'm really my issue right now is abortion and women's rights, women's health, and I feel like that's more important right now than taxes, inflation. You know, so that's my main issue.
So reproductive rights, women's rights. Okay.
Yeah, me as well. And something personal. I froze my eggs, and I would like to access IVF one day. And a lot of Republicans are voting against that. So yeah, definitely for personal reasons, and as Cynthia was saying, for women's rights. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that women's rights is the most pressing issue in the U.S., or do you think there's like other issues like economy, immigration, border? Yeah.
There's other issues but there's always going to be those issues with every candidate, every president. But I feel like with the Project 2025, like we're really scared of that. We're really trying to avoid that. So I think the most pressing issue right now for me is our rights as women.
As women. Okay.
Yeah, and same. And I know there's issues with immigration, and how you were saying inflation, but we grew up on the border. I think there's a lot of misinformation on what happens at the border. Personally, a border wall will not fix those issues. A lot of people that come here, they overstay their visas. So to me, I feel like the Republican Party is preaching something that's not going to solve the issue. The border wall's not going to solve it. I say it as us two. We grew up on the border our whole lives. So, and I think there's a lot of misinformation there on that. And with the economy, I mean, Trump did, he was part of the CARES Act, so he did, give a lot of money away after the pandemic. So of course that's going to trigger inflation for a while, but I think people are quick to blame, it was the Biden administration. But I mean, at the same time, Trump did give, I think it was around 1K. So that's going to trigger inflation. That's the aftermath during the pandemic. So.
I see. You guys from Laredo or
El Paso.
El Paso? Okay. I see. Because Laredo is like right on the border. Yeah, it's insanely hot there.